So do you know any best ML algorithm? I don't, because not one ML algorithm applies very good to all of the problems. So, well, there's a kind of very famous theorem, no free lunch theorem. So basically what it says is there's no such thing you can apply in any data. Like if you have like this kind of data, you apply this or that. There's no such thing. Maybe there's some guidelines, but you still have to try and errors and find the best algorithms, best parameter settings, and so on and so on. That's the key of the machine learning work. Do you want to say something, Ash?
Well, it's very interesting. Yeah. It's like you can't fit in like same machine learning, like you got like supervised, unsupervised, and you've got the like the reinforcement learning. Like you got to decide like first of all how you can solve this specific problem. Should it be a supervised or unsupervised, like or any other way? And then you pick the algorithm based on the problem you're trying to solve. You can see like can your problem be solved with the historical data, or like you have to use the real-time data? Which one gonna work? Is it the data is your discrete data, or should it be a sequential data? And then you pick the algorithm. So I think this thing solves, like no one machine learning algorithm is best. It's about what solves the problem.
Yeah, very, very good point, Yash. I totally agree with you. Yeah, data set is very important in machine learning, and as Yash said, yeah, all factors has to be considered. Super, Yash. Yeah, another thing. Let's say we have this data. Just consider the dots as a data point. Okay, we built the hypothesis. I mean the model. Hypothesis or model. We built a few models that can fit into our data. So I have a simple line or this like more complicated lines and stuff and so on. So, okay, that all look good and all fits well, but can we say which one is the best?
First one shouldn't be good. First one is just like looks like a linear regression. So if you have a lot non-linear data points, then you won't predict pretty well. So that's not good. Second one also doesn't look good because I didn't see any variance. Probably the third one is the best one.
Yeah, I think you have really good insight, Yash. Yeah, I wouldn't say you're wrong or right, because I don't know, because it really works well with this training data set, but who knows until we really test data set, right? But it's really good approach, Yash. So that's the thing with machine learning. We can always train the model and we can probably think, oh, this is the best model because it fits our, but it's really hard to say if it's really perfect. Well, we can test later, but we will touch later on. But I say they're all good, first of all, because they are fits very well with our data. But the best one, the hard one. So then people say, all right, if you have models which perform really, really good, like as nearly good, like these, but then we just pick the simplest one. That's this principle. Pick the simplest one, and you will know the reason later on. Like we don't want a too complex machine learning algorithms. There are many reasons, maybe like a hardware perspective, resources, and so on. But anyways, go with the simplest one. Is that fair?
That's always the simplest is always the better.
Yeah.
Who likes complicated things? Like no one.
Yeah. I like simple life.
Me too. Like simple relationships and a simple algorithm.
Good stuff. Let me get self-driving. I don't even have to drive. Yeah, and the machine learning, this is super important topics as well, underfitting, overfitting, as we just touched over there. Let's say we have this data point, and we have two models. First of all, okay, true function. They are talking about true function. I have an opinion about it. We actually never know what is true function. And if you know the true function, we don't even have to develop machine learning, okay? So it's just assumption there's a true function normally. And just say, okay, let's assume this red model is the true function. Let's assume. And I developed this green model, which performed really, really excellent. But then, all right, is that really good? Well, let's say I have a, I have a data point here. And I gave my data, and what's your prediction? I kind of expect my output around here because my input was here. But this green graph is, well, only predict around here. It's a big gap, it's nearly double. So then, okay, why it's not predicting all right? Then we can say, oh, because the true function, the red one, is more complex than the green one. So actually it underfits data. That's the term, underfit. So it can really perform well. That's the thing. And okay, then there's underfitting. Then there must be overfitting as well. Yes, there is. So let's say this green line was actually true function, let's say, but then the red one was our model. So I gave my another unknown data set around here. So I'm kind of expecting my prediction around here, but my model actually predicts around here, which is really really, really bad. So why did it happen? Because my model overfit the data, which means my model was nearly too good and they were training for the noise. And then they gave me a wrong output because they didn't have to train for the noise. Yeah, so we always try to avoid underfitting or overfitting. And all right, we just mentioned when the model is underfitting, then we know they will perform poorly even during the training. We know that. And the overfitting, it's like, okay, during the training, my model really works well and nearly perfect, like 100% accuracy. But when I gave them an unknown data set for tests, they perform kind of poor. We would expect much better, but unknown kind of data set, not good. Then we say, oh, my model must have been overfitted. So we say there's a trade-off between the complexity and how well it fits to my data. I think, yeah, you got this point, so I'm not gonna explain it.